cup holders to the chair.
I'm not modifying the chair just to get cup holders. That sounds like extraneous, unnecessary things.
Well, if that was full, you would have knocked Pop all over our voice
If that was
box again.
If that was full, it wouldn't have knocked over that easily. And also, I put it there precisely because I know it's not full. And because stuff's in the place where I would normally put it. Which I'm working to clean.
Alright, we sound fine.
But do we sound good? Because that's
All right.
the important question here.
Hello, people. It's us, Two Bros Game 9. I'm your host, Younger Bro.
I'm your the host, Older Bro.
And we're back shiny hunting for Gossifleur as soon as I get the Shiny Hunt app back open.
Just a heads up, guys. Today has been one of those days where we had power outages due to weather. So if, for any reason, the stream stops working, assume the power's out and that we are not coming back. Because
Yeah.
we ain't coming back if the power goes out.
Guys, it was out for 3 hours today. Like, it sucked.
No, it had to have been longer than that.
No, it was 3 hours. It went out around 12.
No, I know it was longer than that because... What I'm saying is I know it was longer than that because it went off when I left for food, and it didn't come back on till like 4:30. So, because again, I was doing stuff at the time, so I was keeping close track of the time. So, it
I
had
thought
to have
it
been...
came back on at 3:30. At least
No.
that's the time my phone was showing me.
Yeah, keep an eye on that. Also, is daylight savings time about to happen tonight? Because I keep seeing things about it and like that.
If it happened already because my clock matches yours. So.
No, it'd be tonight.
But tonight I have no idea. Yeah, sorry if we were a little late today as well. I didn't realize, hey, it's fucking Saturday. Get your ass downstairs. Yeah, I'm still adjusting to our new time. And it wouldn't matter anyway because Older Bro was stuck in the bathroom for about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So regardless, we would have started at this time. And guys, that is fine. I don't work tomorrow. So it works out. But yeah, guys, I've had a very boring day. And also a very, very bad day, sort of. Because one of the mobile series that is coming up, I'm getting shit from. You'll see what that's about. And, oh, something else happened to me. What was it? God damn it, I don't remember what happened. Oh, and the power outage, which prevented me from recording another mobile series. So, hey, Mr. B.
Hello, Mr. B.
But anyways, I've also had a very bad week as well. So, don't think I've mentioned this yet, and if I have, I'm talking about it now. So, guys, Tuesday, I got up for work, and my car was acting up. I didn't think anything of it because I just thought the car was getting old, or maybe the gears were frozen because it was a fairly cold day. So, I just went on a drive, and while I was driving, I saw sparks flying from behind me, out, like in my mirror. I saw sparks. So I immediately pull over because I think I'm on fire. I find someone's used drive and I pull over in there. And when I go look at my back wheel, it is destroyed and the rim was destroyed. So both the tire and the rim just fucked. So, call my dad, he takes me to work, and he gets my car towed because we can't move it. Like, we put our spare tire on, and the back tire wouldn't turn. So, we take it to the mechanic, and a couple days later, the mechanic tells us that my parking brake failed on me. So it was stuck on engage. So we basically got the parking brake removed, and now I have to go driving around without a parking brake. But guys, I've never used it ever.
Yeah.
Guys, the only reason I have the parking brake is to like park on the side of a hill, like just to.
Yep.
So I have no issues with that, but it was a $700 fix.
Yep.
So we did have Pokemon card plans, and if it happens, it's gonna be at the end of the month.
Yeah. That'd be a no, probably. Yeah.
Well, I get almost $400 a week, so I think I could do end of the month, but I had to cancel one Pokemon card thing because of this.
Yeah. See, younger bro, because of the lack of a perfect moment, I did not get to tell the joke I wanted to tell, which was that the parking brake was stuck in engage. But unfortunately, he didn't want to get married, so he declined to put a ring on it. Look, I'm trying to lighten this serious moment with a joke, and all I'm getting is, no, why would you think of that? Why would you try to tell a joke in this somber moment? Yeah, Mr. B, what was bad about your day today? Look up Zapdos' Pokedex entry. In what game, Mr. B? Oh, Galarian Zapdos, okay.
There's some other news too.
Uh-huh.
So, you know Shadow Dash. Shadow Dash has been on the channel for a long time.
Yeah.
Apparently, his main channel, you know his 3,000 sub-channels, he claims it's being taken down.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not sure how true that is.
Uh-huh.
Because this is what he tells me.
Yep.
He tells me that he got 3 copyright claims.
Yep.
And because of that, he's being taken down.
Yep.
I'm like, what do you mean by that? He's like,
What do you mean by that?
Yeah. Listen.
Uh-huh.
He claimed he has been copyrighted 3 times.
Yeah.
And I asked him, do you mean on videos or do you mean on your whole channel? And he says, I don't know.
You can't... What? No, you're not understanding. You can't copyright someone's channel. That's not how that works.
Well, the copyright strikes.
Yes. What you just described, they're the same thing. There is no difference between the video and the channel.
But I basically asked him, does he have anything on his dashboard saying you've been striked 3 times?
Yeah, if he's saying he got 3 strikes, then obviously he's seeing on his dashboard.
But he's telling me he doesn't know.
He doesn't know because you're confusing him with terminology he doesn't understand. Because you're like, there's a video strikes and channel strikes, and there's no difference. They're all a strike.
It didn't help he wasn't communicating well either.
Yeah, so, yes, let me answer for him. Yes, if he has 3 copyright strikes, he has 3 copyright strikes on his dashboard visible to him. That's why he knows he has them.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't know if they're a major strike or if they're just a normal strike. Because
what I'm trying to tell you is there is no difference. There isn't a major and minor strike. A strike is a strike. You get 3. You get 3. You get kicked off platform. No exceptions.
Well, I'm just saying we have thousands of copyright strikes on our videos.
Claims. You can have an infinite number of claims. You can only have 3 strikes. Because that is you are 1/3 of the way to... A strike is literally, you are 1/3 of the way to having your channel removed from our platform.
I'm just saying he's not making it clear if it's just a claim or if it's a strike.
If it was a claim, he wouldn't be telling you. It's a strike. I don't know how to make this more clear, man. He got 3 copyright channel takedown strikes. So his channel's being taken down.
But the other thing is, I don't know why.
I'm sure he doesn't know why either.
Like, I don't understand why his channel is being taken down.
Okay, anyways, let me get back to trying to lighten the mood by looking at Galarian Zapdos'
But anyway,
Pokédex entries.
can you survive YouTube even with 3 strikes on your channel?
Your channel is taken down. Period. You are also not supposed to create any new channels, ever. It's like, so, no. He is telling you that it is a very serious thing and his channel's being taken down. Period. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm struggling here. Hold on.
if you don't appeal, copyright claims cannot get you a strike.
No. If you appeal copyright claims, that can get you a strike. The appealing process is what gives you a strike. Or some companies can just skip the claim process entirely and give you a strike outright. They don't have to claim you. They can choose to claim you or not.
Yeah, I find that ridiculous.
Okay, I finally found Galar and Zapdos. So, here we go. Here are the Pokédex entries for Galar and Zapdos. When its feathers rub together, they produce a crackling sound, like the zapping of electricity. That's why the Pokemon is called Zapdos. Shield.
Can remove strikes.
Yeah, it
yeah,
can.
by waiting.
Yeah, it can, but usually does not. Shield. One kick from its powerful legs will pulverize a dump truck. Supposedly, this Pokemon runs through the mountains at over 180 miles an hour. I just enjoy the entry. That's why it's called Zapdos. Yeah, that's pretty good. Its feathers rub together and create sounds of electricity, which is why people call it Zapdos. Also, I'd like to point out that Galar and Zapdos is called the Strong Legs Pokemon. It does not skip leg day.
I have some happier, okay, sort of happier news of my own.
Oh, thank God!
Okay, guys, so here's the happy, unhappy thing. So, Sword and Shield for TCG is getting one final Pokemon TCG set.
Oh, thank God!
In January. Now, I don't know why they released the info about it yet.
Because they wanted to let people know that there would be one final set.
I understand that, but Silver Tempest, the set coming out this month, hasn't even released yet.
Yeah, but the point is that they're saying that the reason why they announced this is because with the new games coming out this month, they wanted to clarify to people that there would be one further set after the new games come out, and then they'd switch to card sets for that new series.
Yeah, so sad news, Sword and Shield is going to end January 2023.
That is sad. Also happy in that, like, you know, we'll be moving on to a new set, which was interesting.
I will let you guys know. There is going to be at least a promo Marnie card for the new set coming out.
He is unsure further than that.
Because I don't have details on the whole set. I've seen some of full art cards that they're adding. Like, guys, they're adding a sick new Diancie V card. Oh my god, I want it so bad. I might buy it outright because I want it so much.
Yeah.
Regardless, I'm going to be pre-ordering this set. So this is going to be the first TCG set I pre-order.
Uh-huh.
So I want you guys to know I'm getting that Marnie box because it's the Marnie Morpeko V Union finally getting an English release.
Yeah,
because
the card was too powerful to be kept in Japan.
Yeah, I got it in Japanese because I thought it was just too far back, like, in terms of...
Apparently not.
Like, I'm pretty sure that V Union came out around the time of V-Star in Japan.
Yeah.
Sorry, V-Max Climax.
That name is still weird.
So, I thought it just wasn't going to get an English release. So...
Max Climax is something that you would hear in Bayonetta.
It's getting one. There's also going to be a small Marnie 10. Of course, I'm getting that, so that means I have to pre-order all the small 10s.
Uh-huh.
Guys, there's also going to be boxes for Shiny, Zamazenta, and Zacian. In fact, I just found out about those. Like, they have been newly confirmed, like, within the last week.
Yeah.
So I'm also pre-ordering those because I want them. Like, I love the cards. Other reason I want them is because I missed out on getting Shiny Xerneas and Yveltal when they came out.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
So I'm like, I'm getting these.
Makes sense, makes sense.
At least I got Shiny Zygarde, but I had to go to TCG to find that.
Oh, yeah?
Like, I don't even know where TCG is anymore. I have to go find them. I think they're really close. I think they're like 2 towns over. So they're about an hour away from our current town. So, great.
I like the phrase, our current town. Implying that we're moving towns.
Well, if we can't find anything around here, like, we might have to.
I think we'll find something.
Yeah, other Pokemon news. Did you know Splatoon is doing a crossover with Pokemon?
Not surprising.
So there's like an event where you pick between the green team, the blue team, and the red team. You don't, like, you might get a special outfit, but you, like, don't get like a special gun or anything if you participate, so. I just don't know how I feel about Splatoon 3 because, guys, I don't even know if Splatoon 3 has a story mode. I know 2 did, 1 didn't.
I'd assume it does.
I'm worried that they went back to no story mode. Yeah, other Pokemon related news. Guys, I can confirm once we have the Shiny Charmin, Scarlet and Violet, we will be switching to, what was it? Arceus? We're switching to Arceus.
I believe that's what you said.
Trying to think. Are we might, oh, now I remember. I think we are streaming the newest game and all the older ones are going to be mobile.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what we agreed on.
Well, I don't think we'd figured out what we were doing with older games, but yeah. So in that case, I guess we're switching to Scarlet and Violet directly.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. That sucks. Trust us, we don't want to do it either. But unfortunately, we are just taking too long in these games. And some of these Pokemon can probably be found in the newer games, but only some of them, not all of them.
Yeah. I mean, that is how
National Dex Cat works.
Yeah, the other thing about this is we are just vastly slower than other channels. Like, we only stream 3 hours, and the other channels do 6 hours every day.
Yeah.
So
it's like,
they
guys,
can be done within a few months.
It's like, guys, if you want us to increase to 6 hours, that means that we have to, go full time. So we're gonna need a lot more people watching and supporting us to do that. So we'd love to, but no.
Well, we're at least approaching 400 subs on YouTube, which is amazing, guys. We love it.
Yeah, that is surprising. That is very surprising.
So we're happy that you guys are enjoying our channel. Honestly, we didn't think we'd get this far.
Yeah. That is true.
Like, I saw us getting to 300. I didn't see us getting past that.
By the way,
This is something that I found out recently. I might have known this in the background,
but
hadn't really
Thought about it.
thought about it. But yeah, apparently, so apparently the algorithm switched at some point, where they prefer you to have longer videos than shorter videos. Yeah. So basically, 30-minute Let's Plays plus is the new norm.
Well, that works out for us then.
Yeah.
Because, guys, we try to keep it at 25 minutes, but sometimes we are forced to go longer.
Yep. So that's not going to mean much for us, guys. We'll still be recording about the same amount each time. That said, I will say if our schedule ever does change,
I mean, it kind of has, but...
Well, no, I'm saying if our schedule ever does, like, allow us to do more, content, like, for example, if we ever got to the point where, I didn't have to do editing, or we did this full time, I probably would be setting, like, our normal streams to be 2 to 3 hours. So...
Yeah, just permanently keep the time increase.
Well, no, I'm saying that would become the starting time.
Oh, just switch it to 2-3 hours?
It would be 2 to 3 hours without time increase.
I'd say we should only do that with certain games. Like, I'd say maybe over 50-hour games, sure. But,
yeah,
something like... I don't know, let me think. Let me think of a sort of long game. Batman, like Arkham. Arkham Asylum.
Yep.
Like, that game's probably like a 20-hour game.
Yep.
So, I wouldn't, like, do that 2 hours on the spot.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll go into that at a later point in time.
By the way, guys, once again, if we hit 500 subs, which, please, God, let us.
Younger bro doing that thing that every single every single streamer and Let's Player does, every YouTuber does, and it's just like, oh, I can't believe we got to even 300 subs. Anyways, I really hope that we get to 500 subs in the next, like, few months or whatever. It's just like, fucking hell.
But if we do get there, we already said what we're doing. We're going to be doing Last of Us 1 and 2 back-to-back.
Yeah.
Yep. And guys, I really want to play Last of Us, like, now, but... I can't. Like,
no,
guys, even if...
You are prevented.
Even if I wanted to do them right now, I still can't because of my import list.
Yeah. You are prevented by your own insistence.
But here's the thing, like, I technically could do it. Because at the end of our import list, I had to put in some games just to space out all the Pokemon games we're importing.
Yeah.
And Dragon Ball games. Because, guys, we've done very little Dragon Ball stuff.
Yep.
And we talk about it all the time, so I'm like, why didn't I have these up higher? I think it's mainly because of Xenoverse 2, because of all the DLC they did, and I kept having to space them out.
Yep.
Like, every time.
I mean, same thing with Mario. Our characters are literally designed for Mario, and we have very little Mario content on the channel. So it's like, eh.
Like, I do want to try to do more Mario things, but the problem is I want my list to get smaller first before I consider any more Mario games. Like my Let's Play list. Like, my Let's Play list is going to get smaller before my stream list.
Well, yeah.
So, guys, there is a couple Mario games I do want to play, but I want that list to get shorter first. But honestly, I am kind of surprised older bro hasn't done a lot more Mario stuff because he's more into Mario than me.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Like, we've only done, like, one or two main Mario series like games?
I'll have to look at the list.
Because I know we did Super Galaxy and we did Mario Bros. Wii, New Mario Bros. Wii.
Yeah, done those. We did two Paper Mario games.
But I was just talking like
But
main
Yeah.
series, not side series like Paper Mario.
Well,
But
Mario's, yeah.
so I do plan for us to do Mario games. In fact, I wanted to do Luigi's Mansion 2, Dark Moon.
Yeah, we have.
We have Luigi's Mansion on the channel.
I'm kind of surprised older bro hasn't done 3, but I think he's waiting on me to do 2. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And also, isn't 3 multiplayer?
It is sort of multiplayer, yes.
But what we don't know is, does it just require online play or does it require 2 switches?
No, I think it's one single. I think it's local multiplayer.
Okay.
To be fair, I haven't looked it up.
Probably the series we do the most is Pokemon.
Yeah.
And guys, I do want to do more trading cards than just Pokemon. I do want to do Dragon Ball cards and some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but I don't know if I'll record that. I think I'm just going to buy the Yu-Gi-Oh cards I want and display them, and that's it.
Younger bro has a little taste for Yu-Gi-Oh.
I really do. Like, the only other cards I considered opening is, I think Hatsune Miku has her own TCG.
Of course she does.
And I think MLP does too, but I don't really have desire for their cards.
Of course she does.
But anyway, but yeah, we do a lot of mainly Pokemon. Wouldn't surprise me if in the future we just did Pokemon, but
No,
No.
I really don't want to do that. Oh, by the way, guys, I did finally break down and just ended up sorting all the Pokemon cards I still had left to do into piles per set, and I'm now just doing all, like, each set one at a time with all the types. It's going a lot faster. Okay, I need to get something to drink, so I'll be right back.
But yeah, guys, if there's any series you want to see us play on the channel, feel free to recommend it. Trying to think if we've already played a recommended game. We've done voted games. Oh, I think we're about to do a recommended game, but I'm not saying what it is.
Okay, I'm back.
Have we played a viewer recommended game yet?
Viewer recommended game.
The problem is that's hard to track because I don't want. if we take a game off the suggestions page, I don't keep it on the suggestions page. I just mix it in with the regular stock.
I know we're about to do one.
So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what all games people have suggested. Because sometimes, a lot of the games people suggest are stuff we already have on our list to play. So it's not that, like, it's like, play this game, we're already going to soon.
But yeah, I am trying to remember if we've done any from the actual suggestion list.
I don't know.
Well, I can say that there is nothing currently on the list that we have done.
Yeah, all I know is we have one coming up. I don't remember if we had already played one that was recommended.
Oh, there reminds. Oh, hold on, I need to do this. You already bought World End Club, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I already bought them fighting herds, so I can remove them fighting herds off the thing. World's End Club's still on there, but that's because it's one that
you want to get.
Yeah.
I assume so, because it's in red and the other's in blue, so I think that... It's kind of hard for me to tell, because this is inverted.
Yeah, I got World's End Club for my B-Day. By the way, guys, I'm actually struggling on asking for certain games on Christmas and my B-Day, because a lot of the games I've wanted, I already own.
Well, the problem I have is if I've ever tried to request games, it's... The games
come out and like before Christmas, and so I often have them before Christmas.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen with Dragon Quest 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go get it as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
Now, okay, Pokemon comes out this week or next week? Like it comes out upcoming Friday or the Friday after?
18th.
18th. Okay, so it's
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. Because I'm also gonna get Bayonetta at that time.
Sorry, it's not Dragon Quest 2, it's Dragon Quest Treasures, but it's just I'm pretty sure it's just Dragon Quest 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't played 1, but I own Dragon Quest Builders 2. I've yet to play it, but I do want to play it. I think I want to capture my first reaction to that game on the channel. That's why I haven't played it yet.
Mm-hmm. It is so weird that...
It's so weird that it's this close to Christmas, which means it's this close to, like, 5 years for the channel.
Yep, 5-year anniversary coming up. How about that?
You should buy me a copy of Violet when the time comes. Uh-huh. Sure, Mr. B. Mr. B, I don't know if I'd buy, like, I don't even know if I'd buy you a copy of Violet, even if you were playing the game along with us.
Like...
Also, yeah. I guess I don't keep track of who all has what consoles, so I guess I didn't remember that you had a Switch, but I guess that makes sense. I think you've talked about playing games on the Switch before.
He plays Pokemon, yes.
Yeah. Well, just because he plays Pokemon doesn't mean he has a Switch. Pokemon's on every Nintendo console.
But he's talked about Arceus.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I did vaguely remember he's talked about newer games that should be on the Switch, so. That one's just me forgetting.
But yeah, guys, there are several games I'm excited for. Some of them I can't even get yet because of financial issues.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know about the new Harry Potter game. I know
Yeah.
about Dragon
That wasn't
Quest.
related to you.
And there's another game. What other game was I excited? Oh, the new God of War game.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that comes out this month. And I think I put that on my Christmas list, so I'll at least have that by Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, next year, guys, is going to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you're looking at all the games that's going to come out next year.
Well, they aren't all coming out next year.
No way on Earth, given how we're spacing them. That's gonna take several years. No way on Earth that's all gonna happen next year. But
I mean, there are games that we will pre-order and play on day one.
that's true.
It's just I haven't done it for a long time because of my import list.
But yeah, let me get back to looking at the list, though, because you're asking. Flip a coin and call it in the air. Mr. B, I don't even know if I have a coin near me. Like, anywhere. So that might be a bit difficult. Give me a second.
It's all Zigzagoon again, except for this one lonely Gossifleur.
Okay, I'm gonna throw the coin up. Younger bro can decide what it's gonna be.
For what?
Just call it heads or tails.
Tails.
It was heads. So whatever you're needing that for, younger bro got it wrong. Now hold on here. I don't think that's how that works.
That's why I figured he was doing it.
Yeah, but look, I'll indulge, but no. Mr. B, you are a working adult who has enough money to support us financially. I think you can afford 1 or 2 Pokemon games. Especially since you've already been playing other Switch Pokemon games. It is true, I can. I just don't want to.
By the way, guys, I should still be able to stream Breath of the Wild 2 day 1. So that is going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When's that coming out?
Next year.
No further dates still?
Well, I think they're trying to do January or February.
If someone else will pay for me, why wouldn't I? I mean, that's fair. I can't say you're wrong, Mr. B. Let me see.
So first question was how many Mario games? Yeah, we had Paper Mario 64.
Paper Mario 2,
Mario Golf.
Yoshi, Mario Golf.
Oh, we're counting Yoshi? Okay. We're counting Yoshi within the wheelhouse. Yeah, there was that one. That one, the last Yoshi.
And
which I think was
new
the first Yoshi
Mario
game.
Bros. Wii.
Yeah. Sorry, I have to find where these are, because a lot of these are streams, so I'm not there yet. Yeah. I think that is it.
And Super Mario Galaxy 6.
Yeah, Galaxy. Yep.
I'll play Sunshine one of these days.
Yeah.
We just hit 400 encounters.
Yeah, one day, guys, we will do Super Mario Sunshine,
And then we get to finally hear the real Toad voice. That's one of the few games you could probably play in Japanese. I wouldn't
Yeah.
recommend it, though.
Nope, I always play in English, so.
Yeah. All the cutscenes is in English, even in the Japanese edition.
Interesting.
That which is very interesting because canonically Mario is Charles Martinet in all versions.
But yeah, guys, just so you know, we're probably not slowing down with Pokemon. And we're just starting to get into a lot of Dragon Ball.
We're not slowing down.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, of course we're not slowing down.
I'm just saying we have a lot more Pokemon stuff planned now that we are ignoring main games from side games because of how many there are.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, guys, we could play Pokemon Ranger while we're playing, I don't know, Pokemon Black and White.
Yeah. Okay, actual real question, because you have these on the list. How much is there to all the Paws and Claws and all pets, dogs, cats games?
Paws and Claws?
Yeah, how much are actually in those games?
I've never played to the end, but I know one of them is only 5 hours.
Well, I was gonna say, are they short enough that we could do them as a
one-off?
Not a one-off, but as a are these games so short that we could do basically a marathon of 3 of them all together and just say every Paws and Claws game so we don't have to look at these ever again? Are they that short, or are they long enough that it's we did that, it'd be 60+ episodes?
I know there's one that's at least a 10-hour game.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to do a marathon of a lot of games just because they're short.
Well, it's less that, but
It's one of those games where it's sometimes there's those games where there's 2 or 3 of them, and they're all kind of the same annoying game that you really don't want to play more than once. So you're just okay, I'm just going to chain these all together and get them out of the way and put them as a series of, here's all of them. They play exactly the same. There's barely any difference. Just get rid of them.
There's actually very few fan Pokemon games on our list.
Yeah, Mr. B, in order to get to fan Pokemon games, we have to play all the Pokemon games, and that's...
I've played a few fan Pokemon games. In fact, one of them is going to be an import.
Mm-hmm.
And it's now going to be our last import. But the only fan games I've played is Moemon, Pokemon Genesis, I think that's the name of it. It's really good. It has pretty much every legendary up into Black and White.
I mean, I thought I might have actually written down Pokemon Uranium somewhere. Can't remember.
And I think there was a Pokemon version. It's that Crystal modded game that we know about where it's just all shiny Pokemon.
I don't know.
You showed it to me.
Well, there was the one mod, but that one wasn't, the one mod I showed you wasn't, they were all shinies, but it was that they did critical game enhancements to improve the game.
They also had a shortcut to every town now.
Because they did stuff they did common sense updates that even the Pokemon Company hasn't done, such as when you talk to the nurse, it immediately turns you around so that
game.
When you spam A, it doesn't click the nurse twice in a row.
Yeah, I want to play that one.
Well, that doesn't do all shinies. That's just...
I thought it was all shinies.
No, it's
a different
still
game
Pokemon
I'm thinking
Crystal.
of.
It's still Pokemon Crystal. It's just a mod on top of Pokemon Crystal that does certain enhancements. There's a Vietnamese Crystal, which is Book of Mario, but for Pokemon. Oh, we do have Book of Mario written down somewhere. I don't remember where it is. I might not have actually written it on this list, but I did write it down somewhere.
But yeah, we should probably write down a lot of these Pokemon fan-made games, but the reason we haven't is because some of them are just main series games, but hacked. So they're going to be streamed, which is why I haven't written them down, because I'm not done with my stream import yet.
Yeah. Actually, what I'm going to do right now, we're doing it live, guys. I'm going to make a different column that's called suggested modded.
Suggested modded games.
Yeah, so this will
And
be
it's
for
just
all the
going to be all
the
Pokemon
mods.
and Minecraft.
Well, that includes the FNF mod
and DDLC.
Which I have to figure out how to cut or copy.
Yeah, the only mods we have scheduled are for DDLC. We probably should play other modded games. I also recommend that we do the modded Paper Mario 1000-Year Door game as well.
Yeah, that's the one he was talking about. I have written that one down. So Book of Mario.
Suggested a poll. Used her voice for the rest of the I don't know if he could do that.
I forgot. Wait, so you redeemed suggesting a poll.
But
so that means I have to run the poll?
Like when I think of a poll, I think of like a yes or no question, like a sort of like a vote.
How do you run a poll on Twitch?
Do you just command poll?
That's what I'm wondering.
No, I don't want to catch fight.
Here, hold on. I just added this as a thing, so I now have to learn how to run a poll. So, running a poll on Twitch.
Well, you guys voted for continuing False Fighters, and that's going to happen. Like, I just announced it today. And guys, I'm having another question soon. I'm probably going to ask it Monday. So be ready for that vote. But yeah, guys, just know Fossil Fighter Season 2 is going to happen in the mobile slot. Old Bro's not going to be there. It's going to be roughly another 20 episodes, and then I'll probably be completely done with Fossil Fighters.
Okay, so it looks like there's a way to do this, but
Give me a second.
Oh, excuse me. Give me a second, guys.
You may hear some audio noises. Like that one. That is not disableable, unfortunately.
Like you couldn't mute the computer?
No. Well, it wouldn't matter because they'd still hear it. It's on desktop audio, so they'd still hear it.
You could have just canceled desktop audio on OBS.
Do you really want me to live change the settings of OBS?
Why not?
After what just happened? Okay, now I'm going to mute. Okay, so that, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I found the setup menu. Should I speak?
You should probably put older, bro. Because I could mean either of us.
Of the stream in Toad voice.
But here's the thing, if only Mr. B is here.
Yep. Okay, so there's the poll, however it works. By the way, ties are no. Whoever voted no is not my friend.
Well, then I'm down a friend.
Younger bro just defriends Mr. B immediately. Okay, well, the vote ended and no 1-2-1. This is unfair. You outvoted me 2-1. I demand a recount. Okay, well, let me just recount that. Yep, it's still 2-1.
Jesus Christ. This is kangaroo court. Sorry, this is kangaroo stream.
This joke is only for us. No one else is laughing as hard as we are. I recognize this. I mean, that's fair, Mr. B, but if you get your alt account and vote twice, you're still, it still ties and we still say no.
Denied.
But actually, thank you for running that, for suggesting that poll, because it means that I now understand how to run a poll. And I'll get Croc to vote with me. Mr. B.
He's streaming right now.
Mr. B. There's no amount. Nothing that you say will ever make me believe that you will get Croc to say yes to a poll of, should older bro speak in Toad voice for the rest of the stream?
He'd have to pay him a
Which, as a
sum of
reminder,
money.
is a 2-hour stream.
Well, 3 hours if you...
Well, 2 hours left. So,
Yeah.
for the next 2 hours.
Like, I could see you doing it for a normal stream, but I don't know how long you would last in 3 hours.
That would be fine for a normal stream.
So that's why I voted no, so you didn't have to suffer for 3 hours.
I might even vote yes on a normal stream.
Like, I probably... Okay, no, I do the Cleveland voice so much that it doesn't hurt me anymore, so I could actually...
Well, the thing is, the Toad voice doesn't actually hurt that much, but
it sounds like it does.
But I haven't done it for long periods of time, so I'm not certain
like
if eventually it wouldn't... I'd have to drink a lot of fluids, so...
You have to be black enough.
You do know that the voice actor for Cleveland was canceled for being white.
Yes,
Only for him to be replaced by someone who is black. So, I don't think that Et tu, Brute, you want to go here? This will not work well for you.
I'm as black as the sun when it eclipses.
I feel like doing the Todd in the Shadows thing of we are not white and just putting it as far as you know on the bottom of the screen. Just, yeah, you are not black. This is not in question.
You're right, I'm a chocolate-covered American.
I'm trying to think if you would actually cover yourself, if you'd actually roll around in chocolate.
Chocolate.
So I don't think you would. I think you wouldn't want to you wouldn't want to get a shower afterwards. You'd just be like, nah, I'm not into that.
Chocolate rain.
Honestly, that would just be way too sticky.
I like the chocolate. You want a Hershey's candy bar?
I can't believe they haven't done a bit on that.
What?
Of like Cleveland sets down a chocolate bar and then can't find where it is. Because he can't see it against his body.
Donna, I can't find my chocolate!
Hello, Mr. Ghost.
Hey, Mr. Ghost. Donna, have you seen my Hershey's chocolate bar? I don't know, I left it in Michigan somewhere.
Why the hell would I know where it is?
Because you keep track of all my chocolate bars when I sit them down.
You fool,
This
I
is
just
your
assume you eat
job.
them all. I don't keep track of crap.
Besides cooking food for our family, that is your second job. It goes beyond our children.
My job is dealing with your insanity.
Insanity, you're the one who's fucking mental, bitch.
That's it, you sleeping outside tonight. Get your ass out of the house.
I'll get my chocolate blanket. Wait, where is it?
Oh, good lord.
You put it in the washer again, didn't you, you bitch?
Mr. Ghost, our day was okay. I mean, well, actually, it wasn't okay. We had power outages for like 3 hours today.
It's because you put my chocolate blanket in the washer, you idiot.
You were about to say, you idiot bitch, weren't you?
No?
It sounded like you're about to.
No. I already called you a bitch, you know that. Why would I call you it again?
Obviously, you think I don't pay attention to you. I pay way too much attention to you. I should pay less attention.
No, you should pay more. You're the one not keeping track of the Hershey's. Even Hershey would be disgusted with you.
Oh, Lord Almighty, give me strength. I cannot deal with this man's shit today.
The Lord can't save you this time.
Yeah. You know, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go ask Lois to go out and get drinks. You can figure it out on your own. I'm out of here.
Don't let the chocolate door hit you on the way out. I'm just kidding, I love you.
Chocolate my ass.
And that's gonna be animated.
Yeah, there you go, guys. Your one, like, extendedly long bit that we just randomly came up with. We can do impromptu and improv bits as we think of them.
Yeah, it's rare,
It
but
is rarer these days.
Also, we seem to come up with more on our very long streams.
We come up with more stuff on our long streams, and we also come up with stuff while we're not recording. As is the unfortunate requirement.
As the curse of being YouTubers, your good shit is off the camera.
Yeah, the curse of being a YouTuber. Shit, where were we recording that?
Because we were too busy.
And the answer is probably
games.
because we were getting ready to record.
Yeah, that's it. Definitely. Where did the recordings go?
Yeah.
We need to play the Family Guy game because you know I'd voice Cleveland.
Lucky there's a Family Guy. And it's neither of us.
Oh, by the way, so you know I'm watching Hell's Kitchen, right?
Sure.
Did you know there is a video game for it?
Of Hell's Kitchen?
Hell's Kitchen!
How in the world is there a video game of Hell's Kitchen?
I have no idea how it works, but I'm guessing something similar to SpongeBob's Cook-Off on the DS.
Uh-huh.
I think it's similar. Ooh, brilliant. Gossifleur, damn.
Gossifleur. I don't know what you said.
Look,
but it
it's a
wasn't
glossy
Gossifleur.
Pokemon,
It's
okay?
a...
It's very glossy. Like, look at her. She's full of gloss and pepper.
That's hail.
I'm just saying it looks like a pepper.
Anyways.
I will have it shiny.
Oh, by the way, guys, speaking of announcements, so we did today. We just got rid of our Funimation subscription and replaced it with a Crunchyroll subscription, which means we are now paying more money because it is slightly more money for the Crunchyroll subscription, which sucks. But it does mean that we have access to new shows.
Hooray!
Oh, by the way, as expected, I looked and no, you cannot put English subtitles on an English dubbed video. However, so many people complained about that when they announced the Crunchyroll Funimation merger that Crunchyroll has said, whether or not they're actually going to do it, that is their number one priority, in quotes. Now, this was 9 months ago, so how number one priority is their number one priority if it takes them 9 fucking months to enable English subtitles on an English video?
It could be just taking a while to do it for each series.
Yeah, but you don't need to do it for each series. English subtitles play on every other video type. So clearly there's some setting that's like, if video is English, do not play English subtitles. So just remove it. How hard is it to display a subtitle over any video regardless of the... No, this should not be hard.
Yeah, I think PlayStation Auto does it.
Yeah. Pretty much most, like, every TV channel has closed captions for their content. Every single one. It is not hard to have English subtitles on an English spoken cartoon, and it's extremely useful. For example, if you are hard of hearing or recording and would like to know what the fuck the audio was said while you're talking over it.
Yeah, I'm worried I might be losing my hearing because sometimes, well, just the last few times I rode with Dad, I could barely hear him speaking.
Yeah. The answer to this question is you are your father's son. You have hearing problems. This is unavoidable.
And just hearing problems has kind of run in our family. Because
this hearing problem has been in our family for over 150 years.
Because my aunt has it.
Yep.
My father, he had it rough.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's fine now. So I guess I'm next.
Yep.
It sucks. I think I know why. It's because I use earbuds for the longest time.
Yep.
I still do.
I refuse to use earbuds for this exact reason.
But the problem is, I have no choice to use earbuds with this phone because there's no fucking connector.
Well, guys, if you're looking for earbuds that aren't earbuds, may I suggest, and this is not sponsored, I use this brand, and it is very good. I recommend it. OLA Dance. Spelled OLA Dance. That's how you spell it. They make earbuds that are speakers. As in, they don't go in your ear. They sit in front of your ear and do not ever touch the inside of your ear.
But here's the thing. Do you have to put a connector in your phone or is it Bluetooth?
Nope, it's Bluetooth compatible.
Then send me a link to it.
I can do that.
Because I might buy 2.
Yeah, they are wearable stereo. So, they have very high audio quality, and they do not go inside your ears. Not sponsored, just actually go get them. They are very good earpieces.
By the way, did you know? Your earwax actually helps you hear.
It can. Your earwax.
But you don't want too much. But
yeah, your earwax is used to block stuff from getting in your ears. So it has useful features. So removing all of it is usually not a good idea. No. But yeah, you don't want to have a lot of it in there either.
Because it can build up enough to where it blocks your hearing.
Yeah.
I've had it happen a few times, and if it gets so bad, you actually have to get it sucked out. You have to go to doctor.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, it sucks.
Yep.
Like, I think
I was seeing an ad for somebody. The ad was for like, hey, you shouldn't be using cotton swab or
swabs.
you shouldn't be using those in your ear because like, for example, those are actually banned in the UK. You're not even legally allowed to buy them because they are like, you're just not supposed. They're not good for your ears. They're good for like wiping, like the inside of your ears,
and
but it's like
they're actually really good for using it to put together like very small items with glue and such.
Yeah, but in terms of like actual ear care, they are not recommended. Apparently, some ear doctor said, okay, well, what's the problem with cotton swabs? Well, the big problem is that they just kind of push the earwax further in and don't really remove much of it. So what he made was like it's almost like a drill. It's like a spiral shaped
Yeah, that's what I have.
thing, and you can you put it in, it can pull out chunks and doesn't push it further in.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah.
But I haven't used it in a while.
Yeah.
Because I haven't needed to.
Mhm.
Like my ears been itchy, but
yeah.
I haven't had a hearing blockage in quite some time.
Mhm.
So I've actually stopped using Q-tips.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what I was thinking of, but not cotton swabs, Q-tips.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing.
Well, no. The cotton swabs are yeah, sort of.
They're sort of the same thing. It's still the same material.
Yeah. I think Q-tips are a brand of cotton swabs.
Yes. Dun, 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 dun. But yeah, for Pokemon cards, I can't wait to do searches beyond just search for Marnie. Because, guys, I promise I'm doing a Pokemon search after Marnie.
Yeah, but first you have to finish the search for Marnie.
Yeah. And here's the thing. If I don't do it quick enough, it might never end.
That is true.
Because, guys, trainers can be brought back. In fact, they're doing it now with all their trainer galleries.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're doing more than just Galore trainers. They're doing it with other trainers, too.
Yeah.
Like, they do it with Cynthia all the time. Not to say Cynthia has bad cards, but they are amazing.
Yeah,
like
Cynthia is a very well-beloved character.
In fact, Cynthia is getting another card in Crown Zenith, which is the name of the new set, if I haven't said. Yes, we are shiny hunting.
Yeah. Well, anyways, to finish wrapping up what I was talking about with Crunchyroll, so yeah, we got the new Crunchyroll. Because of an upcoming show, I will also be getting, at least temporarily, High Dive. So.
Why is it only on High Dive?
Yep, it's a High Dive exclusive.
Actually, there's a couple shows that are High Dive exclusive now.
God fucking damn.
Is it wrong to Danmachi? Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon, or is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? That show is now
exclusive.
Yeah, because High Dive was the actual ones who owned it, but because of it was somebody related to High Dive owned it, but because of the Crunchyroll partnership, when Funimation left, it was on Verve and Crunchyroll. But because they bought Funimation, High Dive left Verve. So now they have seasons like 2 and 3 of Danmachi. But I think Crunchyroll still has season 1.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's strange.
444 encounters. But yeah, by the way, I did schedule that Hell's Kitchen game because it is so hilarious that Chef Ram. I'm pretty sure no matter what you do, Chef Ramsay just destroys you. Like,
why would I eat this human garbage?
It's so terrible.
attention, everyone! I have an announcement. All your food are expired.
Just, oh my god.
Yeah, probably one of the best Ramsey moments was him coming out to.
Now, okay, actually, before you continue, to be clear, are you talking about Kitchen Nightmares or Hell's Kitchen? Because he has like 3 or 4 different shows.
Nightmares.
So okay, yeah, okay. Because he has like 3 or 4 different shows.
Did I say Hell's Kitchen?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Which
Kitchen
is the other
Nightmares.
one he does. But yeah, you're specifically talking about that. Okay.
Yeah. One of the best moments was he saw how rancid some of the food was. He's like, no, fuck this. He takes matters into his own hand. He picks up a bucket of just like expired, I think, chili of sorts, or beans, something along those lines. And he's like, attention, everyone, I am very sorry. He just slams this big bucket of expired food on the table. He's like, this restaurant is now closed. Check this out before you leave. Because your food is rancid.
Yeah, he's just like, no, fuck this shit. You're closed. Get out. You might literally die if you eat here. Get out.
Just. Another moment was like that. He's like, are you kidding me? This has mold in it. And the guy's like, I know. He's like, I've eaten it.
What do you mean you know? No. Stop right there. What do you mean you know? No. You cannot sell this.
Yeah, I've eaten it. You're lucky I didn't die from food poisoning or go to the hospital. Like, that was a fucking great moment.
Do you understand that if you sell this and someone gets sick, you will be sued? You will shut down. There is no ifs.
I think so far in Kitchen Nightmares, there's been one ambulance out of like the 20 episodes I've watched so far. Sorry, 14. I'm nearing 20.
Yeah.
And I think Ramsey has gotten sick at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, that is terrible.
Yep.
One of the problems with Kitchen Nightmares is a lot of the shows, actually a lot of the
locations shut down anyways.
Here's the thing. I think only 3 episodes ended. Okay, 2 of them ended badly, and one of them, it's not that it ended badly, it's just the owner got a deal and he couldn't refuse it, so he sold the restaurant.
Yeah,
so it's still active.
There's some of them that they sold the restaurant and they're still active, and there's a few that are still active, but a lot of them are like, the owner died, or the owner slipped back being like terrible and the restaurant closed down, or economic reasons caused the restaurant to close down. So it's like
But yeah, I haven't seen too many yet, and I'm watching the first season right now.
Well, they don't show them all on the show, but like, I think there's even like a website that tracks all of them, and like the vast majority of them are closed down.
Which is kind of sad.
But most of them are not Chef Ramsay's. Like, I think almost none of them are actually because of Chef Ramsay's visit. They're almost all because of other reasons.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah, even Mr. Ghost's food is rancid and needs to be thrown out.
Yeah, it's kind of why I want Ramsay to maybe go to our Burger King.
He will not step foot in a Burger King. It is beyond his abilities.
I'm just saying, like, our Burger King hasn't been good since they remodeled in the past few years.
Yeah.
Like, I either get dried chicken nuggets, which fucking sucks. I get it almost every time. Or Like, there was one point where their cheeseburgers tasted terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't eat them. I think I threw up one time. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing about like places like Burger King though. It's all fast food, so there's nothing. It's like, yeah, of course it's shit. It's fast food. What do you expect? You expect good food? Then don't get it fast. Good food takes time.
that's true, but I also kind of want to be fair to Burger King. Our Burger King has not been doing well, and it shows with the lack of, like, food servers there are. Like, it was so bad that my friend and only the manager were there.
Yeah.
Only 2 workers. For a long period of time.
Yep. It's because there's a lot of people who are just like,
No, fuck it. It's not worth it.
Like, that is terrible.
It's like I can't blame them either. There are so many places that are better to work than
McDonald's.
or Burger King or any of them. Doesn't matter.
It seems like a lot of fast food restaurants just swap through their workers, like, so much. Because that's how terrible the job is, because the workers want to leave it as soon as they get into it.
Yep.
Like, that's what you did.
Yep. I was there for a year and then went off to college. Well, to be fair, I left my McDonald's restaurant job because I was going to go to a college out of state and literally couldn't continue working there. And then swapped to a college in state and could have kept working there but did not want to.
Yeah, and then you had your very long period of no work. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yep, and now I am in management at my job, and, like, am very happy there.
Like, me, I got lucky. I found a new job while still working on my old job. And I got it within a month. Like, the job I'm working now.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not bad, but it's almost winter, guys, and I definitely don't have enough money for a new car.
Winter
and
is coming.
Father wants me to get a new car during the winter because of the country roads. But,
yeah,
I'm not going to be driving the country roads, really, so I don't think there's going to be a problem. So, guess we'll see. If I break my car again, guys, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Now, of course, guys, as is required every time we mention country roads, we must do the ever mandatory country roads take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. We do not live in West Virginia, by the way, but you're still required to do that.
As far as you're concerned, we live everywhere and yet nowhere. By the way, I like how we were talking about conventions and we already sort of went to a festival.
Does not count.
Yeah, because of the amount of fake shit we got. Though some of that fake shit was
Yeah.
actually decent.
Yeah.
Except for the cards.
Yeah, cards are always shit. Never get the cards. That's a reminder, guys. Do not ever, ever, ever buy cards from a convention.
Well, if it's a big enough convention, I'm sure you'll find one. But
what I'm well, and to be fair, what I'm saying by convention, I'm meaning
like
very specifically.
If it contained like rummages.
Yeah, I'm
sorts.
talking about like local fairs where people come in and just sell a lot of like obviously counterfeit and or like not official merch. Do not buy cards from those places.
Unbranded merch.
Yeah, do not buy any cards from those places ever. They are never real.
I think the stuff that are worth it are not the cards. It's the stuff they make, because some of their stuff is good.
Yes.
Like that green Pikachu, that was excellent.
Yeah, I don't know who made that, but that was.
They
like,
need
insane.
to be hired for a real Pokemon job. Like,
yeah.
And I also
but that kind of stuff is few and far between.
I also love my little Sylveon keychain plush. Oh, it's so great.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be all Zigzagoon again? No, lucky me.
Zigzagoon.
Yeah, guys, I would like more plushes, but unfortunately, I just don't have room to put them anywhere. I'd put them on my bed, but I don't want to knock them off and they fall onto the floor. Like, I do have plushes, they are just all under my bed. I still have room under there, but I don't want to put all my plushes I love under that bed. Like, I don't want to do that. Oh. Oh, shit. I didn't think I was this tired. I only stayed up till about midnight. It was midnight, Montgomery. A brilliant Zigzagoon.
Gotta do it.
Not shiny.
But could have been shiny.
Okay. But yeah, going back to talking about the channel. Did you see that Fusions and Nichijou were beating out MLP?
Not surprising.
Like, Fusions has so far beaten 3 MLP episodes. And Nichijou beat 1 and then got knocked off.
Yep. I'm guessing part of that is because of the change in time slot. At least I'm hoping it is.
How would it be for Nichijou? It's only 20 minutes. Like,
no, I mean that I think it might be because we moved it from 10:30 to 11:30.
Oh, yeah, okay,
that
yeah.
Could, and same with mobile, moving it from 6 to 5. Or 6:30 to 5:30.
Maybe.
I don't know. That's the only thing that's changed. That's what I'm guessing.
Well, YouTube did update, and and their algorithm, you said, sort of changed, so maybe it's part of
that change, the change I was talking about was has been for a little while now.
Honestly, I'm just happy to see that other series are being noticed.
Yeah.
Because the only other series I can think of that was noticed was PUBG and Shiny Hunting for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those are some of the biggest series on our channels.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think about this. So our number 1 is obviously MLP.
Mm-hmm.
Our number 2 is still Crash of the Titans
Mm-hmm.
at 2,000. MLP is at like 10,000 and above. And I think third, Tenkaichi 2 just beat PUBG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So PUBG's our number 4, and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is number 5.
Cool.
Yeah, guys, we actually struggled to see the views on our playlist because of the new update. The new update prevents us to see the views on our playlist on PC. We have to look at it from our phones.
Yeah, which I don't understand. So, I'm assuming that's an oversight because I cannot imagine any reason why they would want to prevent you from seeing a playlist, like playlist views.
Because guys, that
on PC.
That helps us determine what series needs to be maybe moved up.
Yeah. Well, it looks like you're gonna have to stop doing that then.
Oh my! I said that Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is our number 5. I'm wrong. It's Hatsune Miku Diva Mega Mix. Oh boy. But yeah, guys, I have moved up several series because of the amount of views we are getting on our playlists. But I wasn't able to move up as much as I usually do. Because some of the series you guys are watching, we had just finished a game for that series like Crash. So we can't like move up another Crash game for a while. And the other one was Hatsune Miku. We just finished Mirai DX. Which, guys, I will do a season 2 for if we get Katsu Kitty 3DS or Nation My 3DS, something equivalent to that. I will do a season 2 because I love that game to death. God, I'm burning up. Yeah, guys, I'm going to turn on the air conditioner because I'm getting hot.
Yeah. Yeah, this right here is a great quote that every single company should do. Okay? Just if you're a company out there and you're wanting to update something, remember this quote. Stop fixing shit that isn't broken. Just if it is not broken, do not fix it. I understand that you're like, but we want to change the layout. No. Don't change the layout. Don't change the art style. Don't change anything. If you do make changes, make them optional. Do not do not fix things that are not broken. Simple concept.
Sorry if I'm hitting the mic a lot, guys. The only problem with these chairs is I have to reposition this chair anytime I move away from the mic, which sucks. By the way, Wakanda Forever comes out. Does it come out next week or week after? It's the 11th.
I think it's next week. That'd be 6 days from now.
Yep, we're gonna go see that.
Yeah.
And guys, you should be happy to know I did move up a Marvel video game. We've done very little Marvel video games, so I've moved one up.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant Gossifleur, not shiny. Yeah, I have yet to find a brilliant Pokemon that is shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, what I'm worried about is, are we going to struggle with shinies after Snom all the time?
Unclear.
Or is it just the Pokemon with 2 evolutions? Sorry, 1 evolution only. Like, guys, I know we should be egg hunting only, but I don't want to only egg hunt because I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, they give me this many odds, but I just don't find it fun just doing eggs. I find it really boring.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, guys, the shinies you've seen me hatch on the channel are the only shinies I've ever gotten from eggs that weren't hacked. Like, which is the other reason I don't like to do egg hunting, because I have terrible luck with egg hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Or I used to. Now it hasn't been too bad.
It's pretty equivalent.
But it's still not good.
Yeah.
Like, again, I'm still used to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Their odds, like, I fucking loved the SOS method. I wish they kept it.
It was a decent method.
Like, Arceus isn't too bad now.
Yeah.
Because what I do in Arceus is I just go out in the world and just do tasks, and I just happen upon shinies.
Yeah.
Like, not looking for anything in particular. Which is going to suck when we shiny hunt.
SOS, please someone help me.
Because I don't want to do the outbreak method.
Mm-hmm.
It is convoluted and stupid, and the game developers made it even harder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you used to be able to, like, sort of save before a mass outbreak. You still can, but when you go to it, they sort of have set odds now, and they used to not to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it fucking sucks. And keep in mind, guys, I encountered 14 shiny Pokemon before I got the shiny charm in Arceus.
Mm-hmm.
That is insane. That is more than Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And I only random encountered one shiny per game. Like, before Arceus, my previous record was in Omega Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
I found 3 shinies before the Elite Four.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, that I'm not talking very much. I'm actually not doing cards right now. I just feel kind of exhausted.
I mean, what hour is this?
1:30. We're halfway through. It's 9:40 at night.
We're only halfway through.
Yeah, so.
Did you get sleep last night?
Yeah, I actually slept really well.
Yeah, I was kind of quiet because I just lost things to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not. That has nothing to do. It's nothing to do with that for me. I'm just kind of out of it.
I heard one. There it is. Yeah, still speaking of Dragon Ball, guys, again, I will never, ever play Dragon Ball The Breakers. Like, I have no interest in it. Like, you guys lost me when you said you were going to make a Battle Royale Dragon Ball game. Like, it's basically hide and seek with Dragon Ball characters, and I'd rather play, well, start playing Among Us. God dang, I was close enough to that zigzag. Do you think they'll do a Legacy of Goku collection for like Switch or PlayStation?
Will they do a Legacy of Goku?
Like collection, like a remaster of those games.
No.
But I could see it. Yeah, if any series is probably going to be a remaster that Dragon Ball gets, it's probably the Budokai Tenkaichi games.
So I'm looking up information about a couple of the games that we've, played and are waiting on updates for.
Apparently, that pup randomly appearing in the library section has been known since last year and has not been fixed. So.
Okay. So that was an error in the game.
That was an error, and that has not been fixed. It was very obvious that he was not supposed to appear there.
Have they said anything about the last chapter?
The last they talked about it was in April, where they said it's in development. It's still in development. No estimate, but should be this year. So by now it's probably next year. The situation that they did was that the game, the 5th chapter was doing completely new art assets for characters and backgrounds, and with no base, the equivalent of which was basically, according to them, it's like doing an entirely new visual novel from the ground up for this chapter. So they're like, that's why it's taking longer than any other chapter.
Dang it, encounter the Gossifleur. Thank you. Oh, brilliant Glossifor, not shiny.
I'm trying to think how many other games we're waiting on. We have other things for them. Because National Park Girls.
DDLC Brand New Day.
Yeah, that's the other one I looked up.
I think those
most of the other games
were finished.
Are either done, are done, but you might be bringing back for other reasons, or Deltarune, I guess.
Yeah, sort of, but Deltarune's... Yeah, Deltarune would be one too, actually. So, how's progress on that?
Good question. Let me see what. Let's see if Toby Fox has opened his mouth and said anything, as he normally is not one to do.
$500 encounters, still no shiny.
Nothing this year.
Yep, I'm guessing it's probably not going to release till next year. Maybe longer.
Well, you got to remember that from Chapter 1 to Chapter 2, it took them 3 years. And this time they've announced that they're releasing, as if I remember correctly from the previous announcement, all the rest of the game is going to release all at once. But he also has a team now that isn't just him.
By the way, did Silk Song ever release?
Nope.
Yeah, guys, we probably would have done Bayonetta 3 if we weren't about to do Scarlet and Violet. I'm sorry it's taken me a long time to do Bayonetta 1, but probably after Older Bro does Bayonetta 3, I'll move up Bayonetta 1.
Bayonetta 3 will come out relatively soon, guys, but there's a couple big hurdles to doing it.
Yeah.
I never actually checked how long to beat, did I? I'm
For
reasonably certain
Bayonetta
it's still
3.
going to be a stream, but...
I mean, if Bayonetta 3 is a Let's Play, then you could probably do it.
Yeah, but I'm guessing it won't be.
I mean, Bayonetta 2 would have been a recording.
Let me just look up Bayonetta specifically, not 1 or 2.
Like 1 and 2, both games are
Bayonetta
short enough.
Yeah, and 3 is apparently the same length as 1. Well, not for the completionist time. Completionist time, they've just put 19 hours, which I don't believe. Given that the first game was 42 hours completionist time, and the second game is 44 and a half hours completionist time, on average.
But we're doing middle tier and middle tier.
But since we based it on middle tier, it's 15 and a half hours, which actually would be something that we could record. So. That's true.
And plus, it's a linear game, and we're not after everything.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, I mean, unless you wanted to.
Yeah.
I'd say if you want to 100% Bayonetta, we should probably stream it.
I have never tried to 100% Bayonetta because the problem is, in order to 100% Bayonetta, well, it depends on what you mean by 100% Bayonetta.
Like just one playthrough, get everything, get
right.
every item.
But the problem is that there's two major roadblocks to 100%ing Bayonetta. One is that
the ranking.
One is the ranking, in that you have to get pure platinum on everything. But two is, there's usually, if the if this game is like the first two, there is a Halo, and by that I mean like the rings, which are called Halos. There is a get max Halos requirement, because one of the items which unlocks a boss fight is behind getting maximum Halo total.
Okay.
So, and that takes an ass amount of time. That's why the times are 44.5 hours, because it takes you so long to grind Halos. And that's even, to be fair, you can, if you do the combos correctly, you can get Halos pretty easily, but it's still going to take a long time. So, that's the big roadblock, is it's usually the fight, fight this one single boss from getting maximum Halos.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's...
Also, guys, so since Older Bro's pretty much doing all Bayonetta, except for the first game, because he wants me to play the first game.
I mean, the main reason, to be fair, the main reason I wanted you to play the first game is because it's one of those games that I struggled to play because it felt kind of inferior to the second game, and it's one of those games where I played 2 first. So, if you really want me to play 1, I can play 1. It's just...
Well, it's just after you play 3, I'm moving up 1,
Okay.
so I will probably end up playing it.
Okay.
But yeah, since Older Bro is basically doing all the Bayonetta games, probably going forward, I'm going to be doing all the Devil May Cry games.
I'm fine with that.
Like, unless there's a Devil May Cry game you really want to play.
No.
By the way, there's 2 very, low standard Devil May Cry games that are actually a part of the main storyline, and I don't like it. There are 2 very shitty looking Devil May Cry games that are part of the main series.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to play them when I've played everything else. So, guys, they will be saved for last. Like, you should see the models. Like, they did better by the second game, but oh my god, they're...
Yeah.
And yes, guys, I'll even play DMC. But I'm going to play that over the other 2 shitty games. Oh, I guess that's something I should check if DMC 2 is still happening.
Well, I thought DMC was Devil May Cry.
It
What?
is.
Yep.
DMC is the reboot game.
Oh, right, because they rebooted the series. Right. Yeah, I forgot they did that.
Oh my god. It doesn't look like it's still happening.
Well, that's good.
I'm happy that's not.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't hate DMC. I just...
You just
There's
didn't
a...
feel it was necessary.
Yeah. Because they tried rebooting it. Something clearly didn't work, and I agree that there was something not right with the game, but I can't quite explain what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, since that failed, they made Devil May Cry 5. And that was a fucking fantastic game.
That is what I hear.
Yeah, so. Yeah, and I beat that game. I beat all of Devil May Cry 5. I can say it is a much better game than DMC.
Younger bro is, well, maybe not the expert, but he is knowledgeable.
Well, I've seen the playthroughs and the story for every Devil May Cry game, including DMC. Like, DMC is not the worst game, but it was an unnecessary reboot. Like, they had plans for a sequel for that game, and I haven't heard about it in like the last 2 years. So I'm like, yeah, it probably died.
Probably.
That's
a good assumption to always make.
Except for Prime 4.
Which, by the way, I should probably also look up.
Yeah, Metroid Dread is amazing. Even though I haven't played a lot of it, I watched you play it.
Yeah,
it looks, it is good. Like, even though I haven't beaten it personally.
I started, the last time we went somewhere, I started playing it on
hard mode. And
yeah, I saw that you were doing that.
It definitely kicks your ass a little bit, but yeah, it's still enjoyable.
Yeah, I know a lot of you are still waiting for us to do Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're sorry. I actually thought about moving that up, but there are other games I want to play more than Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've actually, my Animal Crossing hype kind of has died out. Not to say I don't want to play the game, I just don't feel like playing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the main problem with Metroid 4 or Prime 4 is that the game, you got to remember, the game was announced in 2017. They then in 2019 restarted the entire product from scratch because it basically wasn't meeting their standards.
My God.
And that because remember, they originally weren't going to have Retro Studios do it. The people who'd done the first 3. But yeah, it was not going to standards, so they brought Retro back, restarted the thing from scratch, and it's now been 3 years. So it's like, it has to be coming soon. It can't be like, I expect like 3 to 4 year development time for this game. Like, I'm not saying that's like, that makes sense. So it's like, should be next year, I'd hope. What I really hope is that with Dread, this is going to start the new, like, a new renaissance in Metroid games. Because one of the biggest problems that Metroid games have had is that there's a few of them, but they're so spaced out that you just kind of sit waiting. Like, it's not like a Mario game. Mario games come out like every 2 to 3 years or whatever. It's like there's a Mario game and a new Mario game and a new Mario game and a new Mario game. It's
yeah, we're going to have Odyssey 2.
Yeah. Did they actually announce Odyssey 2?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Is it called Odyssey 2?
I don't know.
Okay, anyways.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those games don't take... those games are regular and happen all the time. But Metroid has had like years and years and years of just nothing.
Like, let me look up the official, like, timetable for, Metroid games.
Yeah, pretty much since Older Bro is doing all Metroid, I'm doing all Halo.
Here it is, Metroid, the series.
By the way, guys, it didn't move up. Halo 4 is no longer the last game that I'm importing. I think I've said this, but I need to say it more.
Yeah, so here you go. So, this has been the series so far. So,
86 was Metroid 1. Then, 5 years later, Metroid 2. 3 years later, Super Metroid. Then nothing.
goes
8 years. Finally, Metroid Fusion. Again, this is the 4th game. Because again, for anyone who does not know, Metroid 4 is Metroid Fusion is Metroid 4. When you watch the title intro, they specifically, because the first 2 games are just literally Metroid, and the second game is Metroid 2. Super Metroid, in the title's opening, says Metroid 3, and then has Super Metroid as the title. But it puts in, in the intro cutscene, Metroid 4 in brackets. I think it's in brackets. Fusion does the same thing. It puts in brackets, Metroid 4, but then the title is Metroid Fusion. Dread was 5. So again, it's first 3 games happen. Average break is every 3 years. Then Fusion takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
And what about Dread?
So 8 years to get to Metroid 4. That's in 2002. Also in 2002 is Metroid Prime. So to be fair, there's an 8-year gap, but they gave us 2 big games that year. So it's okay, whatever. We got 2 big games. That makes up for the fact that there was an 8-year gap. It's still averaging about 4 years a game. Then, 2 years later, Zero Mission and Prime 2, same year. Then, there's a couple side games. 3 years later, Prime 3. Then, the trilogy is released, but I'm not counting that, that's just a re-release. 3 years later, Other M. So, still not Metroid 5, but Metroid Other M. So, up till this time, there's been no real breaks, and it's been pretty steady releases. Other M comes out. It's very bad. So they wait, and wait, and wait. 7 years. So again, the average so far has been 3 to 4 years. They take 7 years and make Samus Returns, which is just a remake of Metroid 2. So we waited 7 years and got a remake. But at least we got a new game. And then 4 years later, we finally actually get Metroid 5. So, Metroid Dread, finally. So, from Metroid Fusion to Metroid Dread was 19 years.
Holy fuck.
And again, I'm not saying the Prime games aren't cool, and I'm not saying that they're not canon. But they are supposed to be a side series. It took them 19 years to make the 5th mainline game.
Was Other M supposed to be Prime 4?
No, Other M was supposed to be... So, I have to remember the timeline. Metroid Other M was made by Team Ninja. So it wasn't even made by... Only 2 companies have ever made. Well, that's not true. There's a few companies that have made Metroid. One of them is Nintendo directly. Nintendo R&D 1. Which their name has changed over the years. But, like, yeah, they're one of the ones that have made Metroid. Then there's the Prime Trilogy, which is made entirely by Retro. So, Nintendo directly and Retro are the 2 main companies that make them. Then there's Samus Returns and Dread. Those are made by Mercury Steam. And I would absolutely recommend them. The hilarious thing was, when Mercury Steam was first announced as making Samus Returns, everyone was so worried. The reason why is Mercury Steam is actually well known for making Metroidvanias. They've made Castlevania games before. They're well known for making bad Castlevania games. So when people heard that they were making a Metroid game, everyone was afraid that it was going to be a terrible, terrible game.
Nope, they nailed it.
Yeah, then they made Samus Returns. It was, and again, like, then they made Metroid Dread.
Are they making Prime 4?
No, Retro is still making Prime 4. So
okay.
the Prime series is only made by Retro. Well, it was originally not going to be, but Retro proved, no, you want quality, you do it by our terms. The first original 2D Metroid game in 19 years. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It sold nearly 3 million copies, making it the best Metroid game sold ever. Again, these games don't sell a lot. Metroid is a well-known franchise, but it's not a giant franchise. It's not Pokemon. But it did sell very well. But yeah, let me look up the Metroid timeline. Yes, guys, there is a timeline. No.
By the way, guys, I should let you know I also moved up Burnout 3 because I've talked about it so much. And I really, really want to play it.
No, not what I'm looking for. Yeah, fine. I'll go with this timeline. There's one timeline on here I didn't like, but I think this is correct. So, it looks like from this... So these dates are these dates are theorized, but so the dates are not necessarily correct, but the order is. So Metroid 1 happens, which is also known as Zero Mission. Then Prime, then Prime 2, then Prime 3, then Metroid 2, then Super Metroid, then Fusion, then Dread. And Dread happens like almost immediately after Fusion. At least I think. Again, it's kind of hard to find information on this. This is from the Metroid Wiki, so let's see what this says. Zero Mission, Prime, Prime 2, Prime 3. Yep, same thing. Oh, and this also, that timeline was done before Other M. So yeah. Zero Mission / original game. Then Prime, Prime 2, Prime 3. Then Samus Returns / Metroid 2. Then Super Metroid. Then Other M. Then Metroid Fusion. Then Dread.
By the way, how many Wii games have we done? Because it seems like we've been avoiding Wii games.
How many have we done?
Yeah.
That's a hard question to answer.
I'll even count Wii U games as well, because we haven't done too many. That's because, guys, we're afraid of doing the ones that require the motion controls, because it's really hard to record games like Michael Jackson, The Experience, because we have to get up and move around a lot. So we have to record with lapel mics, and it sucks. That's why we haven't done Nintendo Sports yet.
Everyone's trying to argue that whether or not Other M is canon because of how bad it was.
And they just keep bringing up the fact that, like, Dread only talks about the 5 games. And it's like, yeah, but that's because it's talking about the 5 2D games, first off. But secondly, it's like they're not... Prime isn't really a side series, technically. They do canonically happen. It's just that they're not numbered series.
But yeah, I'm thinking for some Wii games we should probably like just do them like on our own time because of how terrible it is to record them with lapel mics.
I don't know how many. Like, how many? What kind of Wii games are you talking about? Most Wii games don't really need to be stood up for.
Like games like Michael Jackson Experience, probably Wii Sports.
No, Wii Sports you can do from sitting down. That's what I'm saying. Unless you actually have to physically stand up to like move around, which is very few of them.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Like, I just want to. I kind of want to sort of treat those as like VR games in a way.
I mean, if you have to stand up and do them like that, then they sort of are, yeah.
But the problem is, I kind of just don't want to do some of those games like without you. Like I know we both.
I'm not saying do them as mobile.
Just
New reply.
Yeah, like I'm not saying we shouldn't record them as like normal Let's Plays or streams. Just that, yeah, we'd have to treat them like VR in the sense of if you have to stand up and move around a lot, then yeah, you're gonna have to figure out a better lapel mic situation. But again, most of them don't really need lapel mics that badly.
Is this guy seriously asking me what does HP stand for?
Okay, so I need some context here. Younger bro is lost in thought.
Oh, okay. I see what he's asking.
This just in, Younger Bro announced that Viewer is not insane.
Okay, so this guy, he asked me what HP stands for. And I'm like, are you seriously asking what HP stands for? It's health points.
Yeah.
But no. So I left a comment on like 20 banned Pokemon TV episodes.
Yeah.
And one of them was the Milk Tank episode, because I was trying to explain to them that they missed a few episodes. Like they were doing all like banned episodes, and I said the ones that they did sort of ban. And I described the Milk Tank episode as Meowth and Cyndaquil restoring HP, wink, smiley face.
Yeah, sure.
So he was asking me what that stood for in my sentence, and I'm like, and I just responded to him, watch the banned footage to find out.
Just, what does HP stand for? Horny points.
But yeah, I understand that from a perverted perspective, but in like, I'm just saying that I'm pretty sure that's how cows like nurse their young, though.
That's how humans nurse their young.
So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know where to go after that. It's just
I don't know where to take that. It's like
that's just it. That's the natural
That's all
thing.
you want. What do you want? It's the Yeah.
It's the circle of life.
Also, we have 555 encounters. Still no shiny.
We are at 2 hours and 22 minutes.
Oh, 2022?
No, 2:22. Do you really want to go for 22 hours and 22 minutes? Sorry, it'd be 20 hours and 22 minutes. It's like, no!
Yeah, going back to speaking about, like, series and how long period, like, takes for development, you should see Burnout.
Yeah.
So let me just look this up real quick, because I actually just found out that Burnout had other games between, what was it? Is it Burnout Rampage? I think it's called Rampage. So between Burnout Rampage and Burnout Paradise.
Hold on, sorry, I have to do this. Rampage!
At least you know what that's from now.
Yeah, thanks. I hate it.
Again, I didn't completely hate it. I hated playing through the entire game. Like, the first level is kind of the level I enjoy the most.
Well, again, my biggest problem is that the first two games that were included on that game were better games than the game that they were selling.
All right, let me look.
Guys, I'm going to be standing up for a while now, so give me a second. I'm going to adjust the mic.
Sorry, it was called Burnout.
Sorry about that, guys.
It was called Burnout Revenge, not Rampage.
I'm going to do a rare thing and like stand up for the rest of the stream.
So there was the first
I'm tired
Burnout.
of sitting down.
Yeah, there was the first Burnout game, which I've never played. There was 2, and then Burnout 3 Takedown. Then Burnout Revenge, which is 4. I think it sucks personally. Then Burnout Legends, then Burnout Dominator, which I've heard of.
Yep, sure.
Then Burnout Paradise, and they seem to have a game every year or every 2 years. Then their last game was Burnout Crash, and then they were like, you know what? Burnout Paradise did good enough. Let's give that one the remaster, like
Burnout Paradise 2.
It is 7 years. 7 years after Burnout Crash, they did Burnout Paradise Remastered. They didn't give it to 3. Like, guys, I've played Burnout Paradise, and I would take 3 over Paradise. Because here's one of the things Burnout 3 has over Burnout Paradise. Burnout 3 is a linear game. Burnout Paradise is an open world drive game.
See, younger bro keeps making these statements, and I just keep being like, I don't know how to take them. It's a racing game. What do you want, man?
I'm saying, like, imagine GTA, but you never get out of the car.
I think I'm gonna need more information.
And it's a small map.
So, so what is the in quotes plot of this game then? Like, what is it?
Plot of this game, there are no people pretty much, and all you are doing is driving to the next street race.
Oh, okay. So it's basically there's a hub world, and you're just driving to the different street races, and then you do the street race, and then you drive to the next street race, but in an open world format.
The races felt worse than Burnout 3. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I just don't think they're comparable.
That's fair.
But
I get that feeling.
I'll give them props. Their timed races seemed fair. Burnout 3's time races are a lot worse. So, I'll give them that. But I just don't think Burnout Paradise was so much better than Burnout 3.
I mean, fair enough.
And guys, I've spent several hours in both. I've never beaten both, but I've spent days, weeks on them.
It's like, this is one of the things, guys, where it's like I have no context for what Younger Bro's talking about, but I completely understand what Younger Bro's talking about. Where I'm just like, yeah, I think that Twilight Princess was the best Zelda game ever made. I think Skyward Sword was okay, but they added a stamina meter. I think Breath of the Wild was worse because they decided, let's not get rid of this bad stamina meter. Let's make it a fundamental function of the game and give weapons a fucking stamina meter.
Yeah, that I didn't like. But otherwise, Breath of the Wild was a fine game.
Yeah, I liked Breath of the Wild 2 being open world. I thought that was fine. I'm disappointed that they didn't have dungeons. They had the
Divine Beasts.
Divine Beasts. They were cool, but I'm like, but I like the dungeons. Like,
I mean, I kind of do too.
So it's like, I wasn't upset about that one, but that one disappointed me. I'm upset that they had.
Older Bro understands that there's just a better game in the franchise that deserved a remastered more than the newer game.
Yeah, I get that feeling. So, I completely understand what you're talking about, and I really hope that Breath of the Wild 2 makes me feel better about this franchise.
I still think it's going to have durability, and I still think it's going to have stamina.
I really hope it doesn't. I also just don't like that it's Breath of the Wild 2. Because
it's going to be very interesting. Like, again, I can't get over the fact of the one thing where you can phase through objects. Like, that is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I'm just. It's my.
You're
problem.
just like, it's more Breath of the Wild.
No, it's not that. Because here's the thing. Here's my problem is the similar problem to. What's the best way to describe this? It's like, I'll go back to Metroid for a minute. It's like with Metroid. With Metroid, they had 2D games. They did Metroids 1 through 4. They were all 2D. Then they did Prime. And then all we got for the next 19 years was 3D Metroid games. And so it was like, oh, they're doing away with the 2D Metroid games. But I liked those. Those were more fun to me. I didn't have to worry about the 3D platforming bits. I had more fun in the 2D than the 3D. And then eventually, with Dread, Nintendo not only made another 2D Metroid game, but they confirmed, which I guess they confirmed in Samus Returns, that they want to do both 2D and 3D Metroid games going forward. That's the kind of thing I want out of Zelda. I don't mind that Zelda Breath of the Wild exists. I'm fine with that. I enjoyed it. I don't think it was the best Zelda game of all time. But it sold extremely well. And the problem is, Zelda as a franchise loves to base what they're doing going forward on the best game. So it's like, Link to the Past was the highest selling, or it was one of the highest selling Zelda, it was the highest selling Zelda game of all time. And then Ocarina of Time was the highest selling Zelda game of all time. And then Twilight Princess was the highest selling Zelda game of all time. And all of them came from this same style of game. So it was like, okay, this is the style of game that Zelda wants to be. And they also had other games that were like Wind Waker. I enjoyed Wind Waker. I enjoyed the cartoony art style. I know at the time nobody did, or everyone said they didn't. But everyone now says that it's one of the better, if not one of the best games in the franchise. I liked that game, and I played its 2 sequels. And I'm not even going to sit back and say that I hated Spirit Tracks. I thought that was a fun, interesting romp in a different kind of Zelda game. I don't think they should go back to it ever again, but I liked it. And if they made a new game going in that universe beyond Spirit Tracks, I'd play it. I don't think that timeline should be dead. They shouldn't bring the trains back, but I would love to see it. Same thing with how's the best way to describe I think there's a better way to describe this as well than how I'm doing it now. The way I'm going to describe this is, I think that so the Zelda timeline's entirely made up, right? All of it's fake. Like, there is no reason that the Zelda timeline's done that way, other than that the fans demanded there be a timeline, and so Nintendo made one. But there's no real consistency with them all. There's no reason that any game is after any other game, except for the ones that are direct sequels. Like, Majora's Mask has to come after Ocarina of Time. Twilight Princess needs to be on the same timeline as Majora's Mask, but it doesn't have to be a direct sequel to it. It could go anywhere. And Wind Waker and stuff could be on any timeline. It doesn't matter. All we know from the timelines is that there's 3 consistent things. How's the best way to describe this? I'm going to describe the timeline. So, the actual definitions of the timelines are weird. Because the main thing with the Zelda timeline is that one of the timelines is the Rito timeline. One timeline. I'm trying to think of how to describe the Twilight Princess timeline.
That was the Zora.
Well, yeah, they both have Zora, but it's that one is the Rito timeline, one is the Ganondorf timeline, and one of them is the Ganon timeline. Ganon only appears in one of the timelines. There is no Ganon in any of the Wind Waker games and its sequels, and there's no Ganon in any of the Twilight Princess Majora's Mask games. Ganon only appears in
Ocarina of Time, Ganon was in it.
Yes, but Ocarina of Time is the game before the branch. It's the cause of the branch. But after Ocarina of Time, Ganon only appears in the Hero Dies timeline. So, on some level, it isn't made up. There is reasons why the games fit in certain timelines. But I think there's also a different reason. Which is, I'm going to describe this way. The Wind Waker timeline is the jokey timeline. It's the cartoony, and more
Childlike.
Yeah, childlike timeline. I mean, isn't it literally no, it's not it's technically the adult timeline, but yeah, it's the adult timeline, which means it's the more childlike timeline. It's weird, but whatever. The Twilight Princess timeline is the more serious timeline. It's canonically the game that happens with Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess. And, by the way, as a note, I'm watching somebody play Twilight Princess right now. And something that they noticed is, so you know how you know how Midna, her mask, like the stone-ish mask she has on, is a Majora mask. As in, it has the Majora eye on her mask.
Really?
Yeah. So, what a lot of people said is that the tribe that made those masks from Majora's Mask, that is the Twilly tribe. They're the ones that got banished, canonically, into another dimension.
Would make sense.
Yeah. So, that's I don't want to call it the magic timeline, but that's like the Majora dark timeline. And then there's the standard timeline, which is fight Ganondorf/Ganon. I can't remember if Ganondorf appears in the Hero Dies timeline. Or is it just Ganon? Let me look that up.
Are you talking about Breath of the Wild?
No, Breath of the Wild doesn't count. Breath of the Wild doesn't count because Breath of the Wild is after the timeline remerges again. I don't give a crap what Nintendo says. Like, there is no other explanation of where that game fits other than it's after the timelines are remerged. Because it has things from every timeline. But yeah, let me check the Zelda timeline again. Sorry, let me go get the Zelda timeline again.
Yeah, me and older bro will await the day that Midna comes back in the Zelda franchise.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not kidding. I'd really love to see it.
I mean, they kind of teased her in Breath of the Wild. With you getting her mask. And also, Wolf Link.
Yeah.
I'm slowly making my way to the Pokemon Center, guys. I know I need to heal. What the hell stopped me? I just stopped. I don't know where that was
so
weird.
let me look at the timeline. So, yeah, the adult timeline has Ganon. Or the adult timeline has Ganondorf in Wind Waker. Then Phantom Hourglass, where here's the interesting thing about the adult timeline. Ganondorf doesn't exist in the adult timeline. What I mean by that is, so Wind Waker happens. Ganondorf is killed. And I mean he's killed. He actually stays permanently dead. Like, because you literally stabbed the Master Sword directly into his fucking head in that game. He is buried in the fucking ocean along with Hyrule, and they never go back to Hyrule. So he never comes back.
I mean, you do that in Ocarina of Time as well.
You do, but the big thing is that Hyrule isn't sealed away in those games. Like, the Master Sword keeps existing, and it is separated from Ganondorf. But in the adult timeline, they put the Master Sword in his head permanently. And, like, they never go back to Hyrule. Like, Hyrule just stops being a thing in those games. Like, the second game, there is no kingdom at all. And the third game, they just establish New Hyrule on a completely different continent, no way connected with the other one. It's completely somewhere else.
So what's after Wind Waker?
Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, the train one.
Huh.
So yeah, Ganon's not even in those games. It's a completely different villain. Same with Twilight Princess, not Twilight Princess, Phantom Hourglass. Like, both those Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass are different villains, completely unrelated to Ganondorf. He's just dead. He never comes back. So, outside of the one Ganondorf, he's gone permanently.
Dead.
In the child timeline, it is Ganondorf
in Twilight Princess, Majora's Mask's a different dimension. And in Four Swords Adventures, he does... Four Swords Adventures, he does come back as Ganon.
Yep.
So that's the only game where Ganon shows up not on the dead timeline. Because he's reincarnated as Ganon, but then the other thing is that they also, yeah. And Vadi also exists. So the adult timeline's also the only one with Vadi. But yeah, so in the Hero Dies timeline, he stops being Ganondorf completely. Like, he has never gone back to being Ganondorf. He just becomes Ganon.
By the way, what time are we at?
43, so we have about 15 minutes.
Okay.
And that's even in the game that's not on here. No, Link Between Worlds is on here too. So that game's on here. Seasons and Ages, they revive Ganon. Link's Awakening's no. Yeah, so that's what's weird about it. It's like... Yeah, so that's my thing, is that Breath of the Wild is fine. Breath of the Wild is not trying to be a cartoony series, and it's also not trying to be a ultra-serious series. It's a standard game. So if it's on any timeline, it should be on the Hero Dies timeline. Also, because he's Ganon. Even though it says that he was Ganondorf at one point, so it literally can't be on that timeline. You see the problem? On one timeline, Ganon's dead, doesn't exist, and there's Rito. On one timeline, Ganon lives, or Ganondorf lives, and sometimes is Ganon, but he's mainly Ganondorf. And on the other timeline, he's stopped being Ganondorf altogether. He's only Ganon and's never gone back. So it's like, okay, if canonically it's like, yeah, you can't have all three of these. This can't be on any timeline. Because if Rito exists, it can't be on the Ganon timeline because not only does the new trailer show Ganondorf,
or whoever it is,
it's very clearly Ganondorf, but not only do they show him being physically Ganondorf the person, but also they specifically say that he gave up his his form to permanently become a beast. So it's like, it can't be on the Hero Dies timeline.
Yeah,
because,
he's like a ghost Ganondorf in a way.
So it's like,
it's very weird.
Yeah, so this can't be on the adult or the Hero Dies timeline because Ganondorf exists. It can't be on the adult timeline because Rito exists. And it can't be on the child timeline because Zora exists. Like, it's like, these two are mutually exclusive. So it can only appear on the adult timeline, but that means on the child or the Hero Dies timeline. But if it's on the Hero Dies timeline, then you're breaking the cardinal rule of the Hero Dies timeline, which is Ganondorf is no more. So you tell me which of these doesn't break the game. But yeah, all that to say, I actually do enjoy the timeline. I do think that timeline has merits. I know people are like, but the hero dying doesn't make sense. Like, you don't... We don't split off the timeline for any other games where the character dies.
Yeah, he's dead and then revives. I still hated the fact that they had DLC that regarded the champions in those games and they did not revive them.
Yeah, that did anger me.
Because, again, they had a better setup than
Yep.
Zelda for a relationship.
Mhm.
Fuck you.
Yep.
Fuck you. Like, is it bad that I wanted Mifa to get with Link more than Midna?
No, I don't think that's a problem. I like how the question wasn't, then Zelda, because the answer to that's always, no, absolutely not. There's so many characters that are better to get with Link than Zelda.
But I'm saying, like, that's how bad I wanted the champions to be revived, because I wanted her with this Link.
Somebody was talking about the interesting thing about the Ocarina of Time. So do you know the reason why the child and adult timeline splits?
Because of the sword sending the child through time.
Well, more specifically, so what happens in the end of the game? So Zelda, Sheik Zelda from the future, after they defeat Ganondorf, feels bad that Link had to lose 7 years of his life in his childhood to defeat Ganondorf, because nobody knew the Master Sword was going to force him to literally be in stasis for 7 years. So Zelda, for compassion, sends Link back to his childhood. He puts the sword back and never takes it again. This creates an interesting problem, because in the adult timeline, Ganondorf comes back and there is no Link there, because Link was sent back and does not ever come back. He never takes the Master Sword again. In the child timeline, though, Link is not the hero, because he does not save the world from Ganondorf. I mean, technically, like, Ganondorf is, like, arrested and executed by the king, but, like, he didn't save the world. So nobody recognizes him as the hero in that universe. But one of the things that's interesting is in Twilight Princess, the hero's shade is Link. Like, it is, the hero's shade that teaches you all the skills literally is Ocarina of Time's Link.
600 encounters, no shiny.
And the other thing is that the Twilight Princess Link is a descendant of that Link. Like, they make a, like, the shade says something about, like, you have the blood of the hero in you. And it's like, it's literally his descendant. So one of the things that people have suggested is that in Twilight Princess, this Link is specifically in, like, a small farming town way south of Hyrule. And so people have suggested, like, probably what happened was he went back in time and just got with Malon. And that's why this Link is, like, lives in a farming town. Because Hero Link, with no villains to fight, completely forgotten, just goes and becomes a farmer. Like, he just goes off with Malon and becomes a farmer and starts a farming town to the south of Hyrule.
Yeah, gets with the redhead chick.
Yeah. So,
why not?
Gets with Malon. So it's like, this is the only timeline where Link has a family and settles down and like it's just very wholesome. Just like it's the best timeline.
Brilliant Gossifleur. Sorry, Gossifleur. Still not shiny. But yeah, I'm interested to see where Zelda goes.
Yeah.
If I had a bet, we're probably gonna get 3 Breath of the Wilds.
But all that to say though, that's the reason I'm not happy with Breath of the Wild. I liked Breath of the Wild. It was a fun game, and I'm not even unhappy with them making more of them. What I'm unhappy with is that this is the direction that all the games are going in, and we're not. It's from the sounds of it, they're not doing what Metroid's doing now. They're not gonna have like, oh, but we're gonna go back and do other games on other timelines. We're not gonna. It's like, and if that's what they're doing, that saddens me. We're not gonna ever see another Wind Waker, or any sequels of it. We're not ever gonna see any sequels to Twilight Princess. That'll never happen again. Like, there's that maybe that's part of the problem with the Zelda franchise in general. It's that the games are written. The franchise is written in a way where it's an awful lot like Pokémon families, where like there are these games that have their own.
Another brilliant Gossifleur.
There it is. Come on.
Damn.
It's blue, right? That's the color we're looking for.
Yep, blue.
Yeah. So, but yeah, all the games have these families of like all the Wind Waker games and their art style and their fun gameplay. And then there's the games that are like Link to the Past. And then there's the games that are like Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess. And like you don't have that same love for the hero dies timeline. And I don't just mean that because like the hero dies and people are upset about that. But like you don't hear a lot of people saying, "You know what I really want? I really want to go back to the eras of the GBA Metroid or the GBA Zelda games and play like I want another like Link's Awakening game, or I want another Minish Cap, or I want another Oracle of Seasons or Ages." And I'm not saying that those people don't exist. I would like those, but like those games were so long ago that people internalized it and accepted it of we're not ever getting those games again. I don't want the Zelda franchise to ever say that about Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I don't want to reach a point in time.
Well, they got HD versions, so maybe that's their thing for it.
They gave a HD version of Link's Awakening. That doesn't mean they're ever going to make another game like that. It's like, that's the problem. It's like, they've paid lip service to it, and they're like, now please shut up. And it's like, no, we should not shut up. Don't ever shut up. It's like, please. Because I don't want to live in a world where the only type of Zelda game is Breath of the Wild. It was not that good. Even if you think it's a 10 out of 10 game, it's not that good that you should never have another Zelda game like Twilight Princess that's a bit more serious. Or we should never have a more cartoony Zelda game.
Like, technically, Breath of the Wild wasn't even their only open world game. Like, Twilight Princess was technically open world. Like, I count open world as you can go anywhere and do anything. You kind of can do that in Twilight Princess.
No.
Like, it's linear, but I'm just saying we could go to a town and just stand there for 5 hours and just do that. Or I could go back to the fishing pond and just fish.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing, though. What you're talking about is, like, side quests and, like, bonus, like, other things to do besides
I'm saying
progress the game.
ignoring side quests. But
yeah.
I'm just saying you can just go unlock it and then just do it. for forever. Like you can continuously just catch fish over and over and over.
Yeah, but that's
like even if it doesn't increase your score, you can still do it.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a fair way to look at the games though, because like almost every Zelda game has something like that. Again, you can like outside of money, you can do that in every Zelda game of like doing like bomb chew bowling in Ocarina of Time. And like fishing in those games.
Exactly.
And that game is not open world by any means. People have categorically like talked about the fact that like Ocarina of Time is well known for having Hyrule Field be empty and boring and there's nothing in it. And that's the most open spot in the entire game. Like that game is very linear.
But you could go back to the Zora domain.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But
visit all those places.
But almost every game that's ever existed allows that. There's almost no games that completely lock you off from backtracking ever. So like by that argument, Metroid is an open world game, and that's not accurate. By that argument, like Drill Dozer is an open world game, and that's not accurate.
If it's 3D and it has a big enough map, it's open world.
Yeah, but that's not what open world means. Breath of the Wild is an open world game. The reason it's an open world game is because you can do any divine beast in any order and progress the game that way. Hell, you don't have to do any divine beasts. You can just go to the end of the game and beat the fucking game without doing any divine beasts. All you have to do is kill Ganondorf, and you can do any route you want to get there. Grand Theft Auto is an open world game. You can do the side quests, or you can go around and explore and do mini games, and like, you can just go up and shoot people.
Like I would consider like Ocarina of Time like a linear open world game.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is those things are non-compatible. You can't have both linear and open world. Open world is by definition not linear.
But that's kind of what it is.
But that's what I'm saying. No, it isn't. Like, you can't have both. Like, it's like, that's what I'm saying. There's a misdefinition here. Like, and yes, I know that technically linear and open world can both exist at the same time, but like, it's not quite that strict. But like GTA
is
has
open
linear
world,
elements
and it has.
Yeah, but that's not what that means. Just having the ability to backtrack is not open world. Just having the ability to have mini games is not open world. Like, just having open world is referring to the breadth of the things you can do. So having a couple mini games makes it more open world.
In Ocarina of Time, I could literally go into Hyrule Field and just shoot the wall all day and just waste arrows. Like, I could do that.
So, but that's not... Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's not open world. What you're describing is that there's no time limit. That there's no punishment for not almost no game.
Well, Majora's Mask kind of punishes you.
Majora's Mask... Yeah, but Majora's Mask also has the time slowdown feature, which
but I'm just saying it will punish you if you do not get that as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so it's like, I think this is a bad definition. To claim that a game is open world just because you can forever stand and do nothing is a fundamental incorrect definition. And
it has a big enough map. Like,
yeah.
I consider Ocarina of Time like the border.
Yeah.
Because, yes, there's little to nothing to do in Hyrule Field, I agree. But I could run around it all day with Epona and jump fences.
Yeah.
At least that's fun.
Yeah, so actually, no, I was originally right. So I am currently wrong, but was correct. An open world game is defined as a game in which you can approach objectives freely, as opposed to being linear. So, open world is defined as... So, here's the difference between open world and linear. You know how the shrines exist?
Mm-hmm.
You know how you can complete the shrines with different tools in different ways?
Yep.
That's what open world is. It means that there is not one solution to a problem. There are multiple solutions to a problem. That's what... No, not... That is the exact defined definition. If your definition is different, you are wrong. That is what I am
the
telling
shrines, some of the puzzles do have
Like,
a set way of how
That's
you
what I'm
have
saying.
to do
A
them.
game is open, even if a game is completely there is a straight hallway, and you walk from one end to the other, and that's the game. If there are puzzles that pop up and there are multiple ways to solve them, that is open world. Even though it's a straight hallway and there's no divergence. The only thing for open world definition is it has puzzles with more than one solution. That is what open world means. So, that's what I'm saying. There's a difference between expansive and open world. A game can be very large and have a lot to do, but it's not open world. So, anyways, I completely forgotten what this was in relation to. Oh, I remember what this was in relation to. Yeah, all of this to say, yeah, I think that an open world Pokemon game can work. I mean, we had Arceus, which was a very expansive game. I could see an open world Pokemon game working, where you go to any gym in any order.
Like, once you unlock every map, you can do anything.
I mean, arguably Pokemon is open world by that strict definition. If your strict definition is that open world games are one puzzle, multiple solutions, then Pokemon is an open world game.
Yeah, it kind of is,
because you can take any Pokemon into a gym and win the entire game.
Yeah, you can do that.
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
More open world.
Yeah, but yeah, I get what you're saying. You're meaning the more traditional, vast expanse. You can go anywhere in any order you want, complete them in any order you want. That definition of open world.
Arceus kind of has you do that by the end of the game.
Sort of.
If you're referring to the mythical events, you don't have to do those in order.
Yeah. So, yeah, what you're talking about, though, is more of Minecraft, of have your own, play the game your way. I think this is more leading to a problem of we need to have more strict definitions in the gaming industry of or in the games world of what things are. But anyways, all of this stems from me originally making the statement of just I don't want the Zelda franchise to become
Arceus.
All games going forward are Breath of the Wild. All games going forward are, we're going to have these durable weapons, we're going to have this stamina bar, it's going to be this vast...
With Pokemon, it's a different story,
place with things to do. It's I want some tight, close-knit games. I'd like games because you got to remember, again, by a non-strict definition, Wind Waker was an open-world game.
Yeah, it was.
Even by younger bros definition of it, that was a very open game. Twilight Princess was not that open. Twilight Princess had things you can go do, but it was pretty straight. It was pretty linear.
Anyway, guys.
There we go. That's the thing we're talking about. A sandbox game.
Anyway, guys, are we at time?
We are at 3:06. So we're at time.
Alright. Next 3 Gossifleurs and then we're done.
So, my point being, guys, is I don't want Breath of the Wild to become the definition of the Zelda franchise forever.
Yeah, and
I would like other games.
I don't either. I could handle 3 Breath of the Wild games, but I don't want more than that.
Yeah.
Different story for Pokemon. I want Pokemon to be all Arceus. Or better. I don't know how they could do Arceus better, but I would fucking love it. Because I always said that Pokemon should be an open world game, and it would be amazing as an open world game. They're doing it.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree that I think a sandbox style game works much better for Pokemon than it does for Zelda. I enjoyed when Zelda did it. Like that's the big thing is we're getting all these large sandbox open world games right now. And it's like I enjoyed when Mario did it. It was fun. But I still want other Mario games that are not that.
Last Gossifleur.
I enjoyed when Zelda did it, but I want other games that are not that. With Pokemon, am I going to feel the same? Maybe. Maybe. And I think Pokemon will do other games. I think Pokemon is going to still do their remake series. They probably will still do games that are the more tight-knit, not Arceus-like games. But who knows?
Oh, could you imagine the black and white remakes being Arceus style?
That'd be wild.
Oh,
but yeah, it's like so.
That's pretty good.
But I will admit that for the Pokemon games, I'm a bit the opposite right now. Of I do want to see them do that, and I do want to see them do much more of that. It's with Zelda, I'm like, okay, that was fun. Let's also do some other games that aren't that. With Pokemon, I said, yeah, Arceus did that. Go further.
Yeah. Anyway. Alright, guys, the timer has stopped. We are at 628 encounters and still no shiny Gossifleur. So that is going to be it for today's episode. So like and subscribe to YouTube and Twitch. Comment to videos. Do read them. Follow on Twitch, and we'll see you guys in the next shiny hunt. Goodbye.
Good night, everyone.